Angelique with My Angelique Crystal Reviews, your movie reviewer and more. Let's talk about last night's episode of The Walking Dead, The Calm Before the Storm, Season 9, Episode 15. You guys, The Calm Before the Storm, well, not Storm. The Calm Before is what the episode was called, but I had anxiety for a full hour in 25 minutes because that's how long last night's episode was, and I was on pins and needles. Pins and needles. So we pick up in this episode. They started off a little different, okay? And I'm going to try to make this quick, but I don't know. Like I said, the episode was an hour and 25 minutes, so I'm going to do the best I can. So we start off with this couple. And they're from, they show their journey and how they got to Hilltop. And how this day is their 5th year anniversary of being at Hilltop. So you're like, oh, that's great. I've never seen this couple before, number one. Number two, the woman in this couple is giving me Nicole Kidman vibes. So I'm like, oh, geez, what's getting ready to happen? And sure enough, within 2 scenes later, you see the woman dead on the ground, and Alpha is looking at the body, looking at the face, and looking at the hair, and we already know what Alpha did. Now, this is different, because I thought they waited for people to change into a walker and take their skins and put it on their face or do that and do that whole thing. But no, clearly Alpha did something different. So this lets you know right off the riff again that Alpha is not playing with a full deck of cards. She kills people. She doesn't just kill walkers or wears a face. She's just an outright psychological, she's just a killer, okay? She's just a killer. So then the next scene, you see Daryl Michonne bring Lydia and Henry back to the kingdom, back to Kara and Ezekiel. And of course, they're happy to see Henry. The last time they left Henry, he was supposed to be getting trained by Daryl over there at, what was it, Alexandria? Yeah, Alexandria. He was supposed to be getting training and all this stuff. And then next thing you know, Henry, no, he was at Hilltop. Lord have mercy. He was at Hilltop supposed to be getting trained. Then he went to Alexandria, got locked up. Henry just been around the world. Just been around the world. So they brought Henry back. Now we're at the festival. Ezekiel, Jerry is the ringleader. He opens up the festival, and they begin to let everybody in. Everybody's coming in. Everybody's going to each little booth, and everybody's happy. And you see that Michonne, Gabriel, Tara, Carol, Ezekiel. Hey, guess who showed up? I didn't think we were going to see them again. Oceanside. So apparently they have a little powwow at this festival about, hey, we got a new threat. These folks walking around with these walker masks on. That's a new threat. Michonne apologizes to everybody for being so stern about letting new people come into Alexandria, but all she wanted to do was keep people safe, and we know why based on last week's episode. So we understand that. So Michonne came in there with an open mind and an open heart. I appreciate that about her. So they all agreed that they needed some type of mutual exclusivity. Am I saying that right? I'm probably not saying that right. Well, they came into an agreement that whoever hurts one community, whoever comes against one community basically comes against all of them. So whenever there's a threat, the communities will come together and take out the threat. So they all agreed upon it. They all, Ezekiel brought out the Constitution of Michonne. And they all went around signing it. So Ezekiel signed as King Ezekiel. Carol signed as Queen Carol. Tara agreed. She signed. Oceanside signed, and Gabriel signed for Alexandria, which I thought was smart because Michonne, nor Judith, or Daryl have their name on this Constitution. I'm sorry for Carol. I pray nobody ever goes back and tries to take out the people that signed the Constitution, but that will probably be a whole nother season of The Walking Dead. Okay, so they all agreed upon this, and in doing so, they basically were going to send certain people, little groups of people, to go and protect the communities while everybody was at the kingdom enjoying the festival. So, I don't know why Michonne, Daryl, and Carol decide they were going to be one group. Okay, that's like putting your best players, that's like putting Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, it's telling them to go out there and take care of one community, and then everybody else is just like Johnson, some other dude we don't know. So you already know what's getting ready to happen. The non-major players are together in a group. So, okay. All right, y'all. This episode starts to turn for the worse. Because, of course, I told you Alpha took this hair, this blonde woman, a.k.a. the Nicole Kidman lookalike. And so she decides she's going to go to the festival, you guys. Alpha is smart. She's smart, crazy. She's smart / crazy. She's a psychopath. She's crazy. So she walking around the festival like, oh, holding her head down with the hat on. She walking around the community. So she finds a picture of Ezekiel and Carol. So, of course, she went up to Ezekiel and said, isn't it funny how Michonne left Alexandria to come to the festival? And she starts making all this chit-chat with Ezekiel. And I'm like, oh, God, she about to shank Ezekiel right here and nobody is going to see it. Because that's how close she was to Ezekiel. She could have shanked him. So, you guys, so we don't see Ezekiel for like 2 or 3 scenes after that. Henry went somewhere. We don't see Henry for 2 or 3 episodes after that. I'm like, oh shoot. So, Henry told Lydia, save him a seat at the theater because he would be there to see the movie with her. And so you don't see Ezekiel. He was supposed to be there. You don't see Henry. All you see now is Lydia sitting in the seat and Alpha slides up next to her saying, shh. So, of course, they she said, keep cool. They took it outside. They exchanged some words. Lydia's like, I'm sick of you. Basically, there's a mama-daughter, battle going on. And Lydia's like, I'm not going back there. I'm not about this life anymore. So, Alpha was like, I don't even care. You're weak anyway. Of course she gonna play you're the weak card because Lydia finally standing up for herself, even though she always looks scared to me. But she stood up to Alpha at this point. So they flash back at that point. I don't even know how this happened. I'm still trying to figure out how Alpha got to this festival, got over here, and then was over here because Carol, Daryl, and Michonne decided to travel at night. I don't even understand this, but you guys, they did it. So, of course, Beta and all the weird whisperers found them and surrounded them. So, Beta was like, hey, all we wanted was the girl, and we could have settled this a long time ago. But now, that deal is off. So, they captured Michonne, Daryl, and Lydia. Michonne, Daryl, and Carol. Okay, so they're captured. So here comes Alpha walking back. No wig. She bald head back to her looking crazy with this charcoal around her. Whatever. So she's like, I don't want anybody else. I just want Daryl. Oh, snap, you guys. I was like, if something happened to Daryl right about now, we are going to have a problem. There's going to be a problem. Okay, there's going to be a problem. So Alpha has a shotgun. She takes Daryl. Daryl's like, I'm cool. Daryl is the coolest. He's the coolest dude ever. He's like, no, I'm cool. So him and Beta exchange words. Beta was like, listen, you know, she said something, and Daryl was like, what happened to Lydia? Is Lydia alive? And she was like, you think I care about that girl? She don't want no parts of me. I don't even know if you could protect her. That's what Alpha told Daryl. He was like, we'll see about that, pretty much. So Alpha said, you go ahead, you know, just tell your people we won't have no problems with them. They just don't need to come past this part of our territory. And we cool. They come past this part of our territory and we will handle everything accordingly. That's what Beta said. And your friends are safe. You need to take this path. Oh, shoot. You need to take this path to get back home. You guys, I don't read the comic books, but everybody who read the comic books knows that they have been hoping and praying for this scene. I have not, because I didn't know who was going to be on the chopping block. So, first you see Michonne's face. You see Daryl's face, and they start to bust out crying. Daryl runs over to Carol, talk about, look at me, don't look over there, look at me. Heads on pikes, you guys. Heads on pikes. You got Johnson, Miller, Ralph. These other people, these miscellaneous people, you like, oh, dang. Then they roll over. It's Tara. You guys, it's Tara. What? It's Tara. Keep rolling. It's Enid. What was the beef with Enid? Like, I didn't even understand what was the beef with Enid. Then last but not least, this is why Daryl told Carol, just look at me. Henry. I told you guys. That was no surprise to me. I've been telling y'all since I've been doing these reviews for the last couple weeks that Henry was on the block. Don't get excited for last week, because I'm telling you guys, Henry is on the block. And Henry was on the chopping block. And in the midst of them running to find everybody on these pipes, Sadiq was saved. Rosita's baby daddy was saved, y'all. He was saved. And Alpha made it a point to save Sadiq and let him tell the story of what had happened. And this was the best, it was the best part of the episode based on the circumstances. Sadiq tells a story of how Tara, Enid, and all those people that we don't really know. We see them in scenes, but we don't really remember their names because they're not major characters. Enid, how they and Henry, and how they fought to the very end. They protected one another. If one person got up and was able to get to another person that had somebody on them, a whisper on them, they went over there and they fought that person, and vice versa. And everybody was trying to help everybody to the last second. And then at the end, they showed how Alpha was looking at Henry, and you could tell Henry knew that it was a done deal. So next week is the series finale, you guys. Snow is here. Winter is coming, and The Walking Dead. And this is going to be a problem because based on, the kingdom was already kind of suffering a little bit, but now with this cold coming, with this major winter storm coming, you see that Ezekiel and Carol and everybody in the kingdom are going to have to go. They're going to have to evacuate the kingdom. And of course, the only way that they could get to an area where they feel they could recoup and be safe is they have to go through the path that Alpha just told Daryl they can't go through. And so Daryl was like, we made this pact. Beta told us basically this is the path that we can go on. And Ezekiel was like, I made no such deal with her. And Carol was like, neither did I. So you guys, I can't predict any more deaths because I don't know what's going to happen. I was certain about Henry. That came to fruition. And this situation with the winter coming we've never seen that. We've never experienced that on The Walking Dead. Because they've always been somewhere warm or on, they've always been in warm weather. They've never had major cold. You can tell it's been cold, but not like snow falling inches upon inches cold. So here's what I think. Eugene is working on a radio. I think there will be a situation with the Whisperers at the end of this season. I think we're going to go into season 10 with we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. And then somehow Eugene will be able to contact the Commonwealth via this radio. And Maggie will be back. And she is going to have no choice but to come back. Because guess what? There's nobody running Hilltop right now. Tara is gone. Jesus is gone. Maggie, you left to get your sanity back. And I understand that. But girl, you need to come on back on this show, Lauren Conrad. Because Hilltop need a leader. And Daryl he's not trying to do that. So we're going to need him back. But that's what I feel like. I feel like we're going to be left hanging with some people we don't know. Maggie will return. Lauren Conrad will return because I don't know how good the ratings have been with her new show for them to pick it up for a new season. I haven't heard anything yet, but something tells me, based on what I've seen of the show, she'll be back next season. And we'll just have to take it from there, guys. Last night was something else. Give me your thoughts. Give me your feedback. We're going to do this again next week. Same time, same place. I appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Peace.